Welcome back. And today we're going to tackle verse 25 of Genesis. Abraham and Keturah, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Let's begin. Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokashan, Median, Mildain, Ishbak, and Shulam. Verse 3. Jokasham begot Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashur, Lushur, and Lushim. And the sons of Midian were Ephraim, Ephav, Hancock, Abidah, and Eladah. All these were the children of Keturah. Verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac. But Abraham gave gifts to the sons of the concubines which Abraham had. And while he was still living, he sent them eastward, away from Isaac his son, to the country of the east. Abraham's death and burial. Verse 7. This is the sum of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man full of years, and was gathered to his people. Verse 9. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Marnamar, in the field of Ephraim, the son of Zor and Hittil, and the field which Abraham purchased from the sons of Heth. There Abraham was buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt in Beer Lathairoah. Verse 12. The families of Ishmael and Isaac. Now this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Abraham. And these were the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajah, then Kedar, Abadil, Mishabam. Verse 14. Mishahom, Duma, Masi, Hadar, Tema, Jeter, Napish, and Kedishmael. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and their settlements, 12 princes according to their nations. These were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years, and he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They dwelt from Havilah as far as Shur, which is east of Egypt, and as you go towards Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. Verse 19. This is the genealogy of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Verse 20. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah as his wife, the daughter of Bethuel and Syriam, of Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban and Syria. Now Isaac pleased with the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord granted his plea, and Rebekah his wife conceived. But the children struggled together within her. And she said, If all is well, why am I this way? So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve his younger. So when her days were fulfilled, for her to give birth. Indeed, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over, so they called his name Esau. Verse 26, afterwards his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, so his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. So the boys grew, and Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a mild man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29, Esau sells his birthright. Now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary. Therefore his name was called Edom. But Jacob said, sell me your birthright as of this day. Verse 32, and Esau said, look, I am about to die, so what profit shall this birthright be to me? Verse 33, then Jacob said, swear to me as of this day. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of his lentils, and he ate and drank and arose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. And that is the end of verse 25. Well, an awful lot happened here. Let's go back to the beginning. So after Sarah had died, Abraham remarried, apparently more than once, and we just have a genealogy of all the sons and daughters that Abraham would have. Daughters, I'm not sure if there's daughters in there. These names are very difficult for me, but I do the best I can. And it basically ends with Abraham gave gifts to all of his sons of the concubines, but he sent them away to get them away from Isaac, because Abraham knew Isaac is the promised son, and from him many nations will come, and the covenant continues on. And then we see Abraham dying finally, and he is buried back in the land in which we first read about when we started reading about Abram and Sarai before their name change. And then we see the families of Ishmael and Isaac, and again, I struggle like no other with all these names, and I just do the best I can. But they're there for a reason. God put them there for a reason. And then we see Isaac's wife, Rebekah, is pregnant, and she is going to have twins. And we read this part here where the Lord is speaking. 2 nations are in your womb. 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the other shall serve the younger brother. So we see the birth of Jacob and Esau. Jacob is going to be the promised son, and I don't completely understand, and perhaps I will later on, why the selling the birthright and all that. But I know Esau and Jacob will be very much like Isaac and Ishmael, will not get along, and Esau will lead a people that will be enemies to the Jews ultimately, and Jacob is going to be the promised son of Isaac and will share in the covenant of Abraham. So that pretty much ends verse 25. It gets pretty exciting. We will pick it up in verse 26 with Isaac and Abimelech. Again, Abimelech's name comes up here. And again, it's been quite a while since I've read the book of Genesis. I'm not sure what Abimelech and Isaac are going to be doing. But we will find out in our next episode, our next video. So if you enjoyed this video, please come back and like and subscribe. And we will tackle verse 26 of Genesis next time. Thanks for watching. God bless.